we're just scrapping our plans. We have this really detailed show sheet that we do every single day. We put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. We make it look good. We pull a bunch of audio. We get videos ready. Hours and hours of work go into it. And then Spike tells us that Wayne Newton made out with his wife.
We call an audible.
And then everything gets thrown out. Then we got to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
Was this obviously before you guys were married?
No.
What?
We're married.
Okay, let's back up a second.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Last
AC/DC.
segment.
When we last left you.
When we last left you,
Yeah.
you were telling us how you actually got the chance to audition for AC/DC.
Got into a studio and got to sing 3 songs for AC/DC.
What was that like?
It was surreal.
Are they one of your musical heroes?
Absolutely. I think I showed you a picture. I was 16. My 16-year-old. I was October 16th, 1979. AC/DC was touring on the Highway to Hell album, their breakthrough album by all accounts, when they became a household name. I'm 16 years old, sitting in the front with my brother Kevin. And we watched those guys, and they left a mark on me. I mean, it became one of the. I mean, I'm a big Springsteen fan, but the music in my life, the music of my youth, it was fundamental in creating who I am, how I look at life, and music to me is one of the true necessary elements of life.
Yeah, it's a huge defining part of who you are.
It is. And I think for most people, they can tell. Music's one of the strongest memory cues there is. Mm-hmm. Music transports people, which is why guys like AC/DC are still touring. Guys like Wayne Newton pop out of a closet during The Bachelor in Vegas, and it wasn't even Halloween.
And people know who, like young people who watch The Bachelor and old ladies who watch it, they know who Wayne Newton is.
Oh my gosh, it's Wayne Newton. It's Tonka Shane.
Good Lord.
It's Mr. Vegas.
So you get a call. This was probably 10 years ago, you said? For AC/DC?
Probably 10, 15 years ago, probably 15.
You get a call because their lead singer is out with tonsillitis or something?
Brian Johnson had a hearing problem, and he was out of the band. They thought he was out of the band forever. They're looking for a replacement because they wanted to keep touring. They still had the demand. The audience was still there. They're selling out 100% stadiums around the world.
It's like the guy who from the Philippines who replaced Steve Perry.
Yeah. So anyway, my dear friend Alan White, may he rest in peace, he called up his good friend Chris Slade, formerly of AC/DC, as a fill-in drummer when their drummer was on house arrest for trying to kill his wife with a hitman. But this is another story.
Naturally.
Sure, that's what you do when you're in a rock band. And I got to go to a studio. They arranged a studio where they played background. They played instrumental tracks, and I got to sit in a studio and sing 3 AC/DC songs.
Oh, you played with them?
No. I was in a studio. They played instrumental versions of their songs.
Okay.
They played background tracks.
But Angus and
Malcolm were via video. Yeah, the 2 young brothers. Yeah.
They were in
London. Yeah, in London.
Live watching
me perform. Yeah.
Making their assessment of whether or not you'd be able to.
And they were smiling, and their heads were nodding, and they bobbed their heads when I was singing and all.
It's unbelievable that you even got the chance.
I mean, yeah. It's like they say at the Oscars, it's nice enough to be nominated.
Yeah.
You know, and they always say, that's full of crap. You're full of crap. It was
what a life-changing experience.
It was unbelievable that I got to perform for those two icons, gentlemen, wonderful guys.
I've had a chance a few times.
I lost the gig, by the way, to Axl Rose.
Pretty good guy to lose
I didn't mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Philippine, nothing against, but Philippine karaoke singers. I would have been brokenhearted. I lost a Filipino karaoke singer.
What was it like the night before?
I didn't sleep.
What was going through your head?
I'm rehearsing, and I'm trying not to over-reherse.
And your wife's probably like, just chill out.
You got, exactly.
Just.
And the best advice I got was from Alan. He goes, you don't, just do you. You don't have to do anything you haven't done 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Just do you. So yeah, I drank a couple shots of tequila.
There you go.
Got it going. Got in the right frame of mind, and still, I pulled a Chris Farley. You remember that time you guys played at Towson? I did. You guys played at Towson University this and then I got to see you guys. You were wonderful.
Remember when you said that love you create is equal to love you make? Is that true? That's so unbelievable. Do you remember what songs you sang?
Oh yeah.
What were they?
I sang Highway to Hell. I sang Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and I sang TNT.
Man, did they record that?
I don't know.
It must be recorded somewhere.
Yeah, it must be somewhere.
So did you get a chance to talk with them as they're listening?
They just let me sing 3 songs.
Which is actually like pretty common for auditioning processes.
Yeah.
They don't want to get to know you too much as a person.
Yeah, and they were
because
could you try it again?
They're assessing whether or not they think you're going to fit in, and then they'll get to know you afterwards. Could make their job harder because they might be like, we really like this guy. We don't want to like break his heart.
Oh, I'm wrong, by the way. I didn't sing those 3 songs. As I think back, I sang Shoot Me All Night Long because I had to get a Brian song in too.
There you go.
I did 2 Bon Scott songs and a Brian song.
Okay, so that was your AC/DC.
My AC/DC audition.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. It was I can take me now, Lord. I've had a great life.
Yeah, that's great.
Boom.
But life got better for you because Wayne Newton made out with your wife.
I don't know if I look back on that memory as quite the one-up of the AC/DC audition.
And you got a tattoo to commemorate the AC/DC
I
thing.
did, yeah.
Can you show that to the viewing audience
Sure,
right
yeah.
now?
I've got a little lightning bolt from. I've kind of turned my wrist that way. Oh, there it is. No, there it is. There it is. Oh, there's this. I can't use a camera. Where's my AC/DC? I really can't bend my arm that way.
There you go.
There it is.
Just a weird camera angle. There it is.
There
Yeah, bingo.
There it is. Anywho.
Okay, so that's AC/DC.
Yeah.
Take me back. What year is it? Where are you? Why are you around Wayne Newton? Why is his tongue in your wife's mouth?
Let's go back a few pages in the storyboard. So when I was part of a big morning show on a rock radio station, we got to, they invested in our show. They sent us to morning show conventions every year.
Sweet.
Thing called Morning Show Boot Camp. And it still goes on to this day, Morning Show Boot Camp. Don Anthony's a talent, he's an agent, talent scout kind of guy who fills jobs for people. We would meet in various cities around the country every summer.
That's fun.
And we would get like 600 morning guys in a hotel for 4 days, stealing from each other, swapping secrets. We'd speak on panels and how do you do this and how did you transition from being a music show to a talk show, blah, 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 blah. All the things that you do.
Sharing your dad jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the guests, every year they had a keynote speaker that would come in and speak to the conference. And since it was being held in Las Vegas that year, Wayne Newton was the keynote speaker because
he's the king of Vegas.
At this point, he had everything. He'd lost everything and gone bankrupt and then rebuilt himself until he had a residency at the Stardust, which gets him to my wife. They do the Q&A. You know, everybody comes up and asks people, yada, yada. Mr. Newton, what was it like when you played? How did you transition from yada, yada?
What does Donkashane mean?
What does that mean? Is that another language? I don't recognize it. And I'm in line to ask a question. You know me. I don't mind showing off.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I call my mom on my cell phone, and I'm in line. I say, Mom, she was like, hold on a minute. What do you want? Hold on a minute. It gets to me. Hi, I'm Spike O'Neill from the Bob Rivers Show, Seattle. Would you say hi to my mom? Yeah, sure. And Wayne Newton comes over. Hey, Judy, it's Wayne Newton. How are you? Right, sure. Jamie, who is this? My wife didn't believe it was Wayne Newton. And
your mother.
My mother.
Yeah.
My wife. Yeah. My mother. Pardon me.
Freudian
Freudian slip there, boy. My mom didn't believe it was Wayne Newton, but it was. And they asked us if we wanted to come see the show. Wayne Newton's manager thought that was really cute. It was a fun way to do that. So I said for my mom, my mom's a big fan.
So you made an impression.
Made an impression.
He's like, let's see this guy a little extra.
Yeah, I said, he said, you want to come to the show tonight? Sure, we'd love to come see your show at the Stardust, and we did. And so my wife and I go to see the Wayne Newton show, and they put us at a table that is stage side. You know how in Vegas they have like a runway that comes out to a little tiny stage in the middle of the room?
Spike, what you're describing, you've seen Vegas Vacation, right?
And I did it first. I did it before that movie.
Here's my question to you. When you were watching Vegas Vacation, are your eyes exploding? You're like, is this literally exactly what happened with my wife?
Remember when I mentioned being re-traumatized earlier? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're sitting at the show, and we're literally like at Wayne Newton's feet in this little private luxury box at the foot of the runway.
People are into different things.
And and he comes out singing. He looks down. He's singing to my wife and bends down to kiss my wife from the stage. Well, which is lovely. And then he kisses.
No, it's not lovely. He's kissing your wife. What are you talking about lovely?
Well, when she sat down and goes, I need a mint. That guy's tongue was halfway down my throat. She's gargling with whiskey and spitting it out. I swear to you. I swear on a stack of Bibles.
Right in front of you?
Right in front of me. He dipped my wife and shoved his tongue down my wife. Yeah. You can call her right now and ask her.
What were you thinking?
I was the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
You're like, that's Wayne Newton.
I've got Wayne Newton DNA.
That's a golden tongue.
That's a golden tongue.
Yeah.
What was it like? I said.
You just ride up next to him and what do you think? Isn't this great?
It was great. It's a true story. Wayne Newton, yep. And we watched the show, and he didn't think twice about it. That's just
I don't know
Wayne
how I'd feel about that. I mean, like in a way, you'd feel a little bit complimented. I'm sure your wife felt like complimented.
She's lovely,
Yeah, she's like,
he wasn't pulling the double wide lady out of the audience.
Yeah, no. He's like, he obviously identified what he liked.
She looked good, man.
Yeah.
Little leopard print dress on.
Of course.
You're in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas?
Gets told on the radio twice.
Your wife's mouth.
Leaves a nasty sore a couple days later on the
roof. That's disgusting.